It's WHM Brick Bros back with another video, and today I received a giant Lego order that I put in, and these are all pieces that I'm going to be using to improve the Moff Gideon's light cruiser here. So I'm going to be using all these pieces that I got in this giant Lego order that I put through to make some pretty big changes to this. So one of the things is there's too many studs in here, and there's too much space and open stuff, so I'm going to tile off this entire top part, add more control panels all around this, and just get a much nicer look. I'm going to get rid of this TIE Fighter launcher. I just don't love it, and yes, maybe it's a fun play feature, but it's not very useful. If you want to fly them out, if you're playing with it, sure, but it doesn't launch it very far, and it just kind of flies out. It doesn't really work. So I'm going to remove that. This is all going to stay. I'm still going to give the chute, so you could add that. That's going to stay there, just because that's how the look is, but I am going to redo this. All of that's going to be redone. I'm going to do a lot of tiling, try to get these things from falling off lists, get rid of this gap that I know maybe no one cares about, but it bugs me so much. Maybe it's a little stupid. It's kind of stupid gap to bug me, and then just do a little more tiling off in the back here. That's about it, but that's a lot, and that's what I'm going to be using with all these Lego pieces. So let's get into a time lapse where I will show you. I'll sort all these pieces out, and then I'll show you all the pieces you're going to need to make this pretty big improvement to the Lego 2021 Summer Wave Light Cruiser. Alright, so I've sorted out all the pieces, and there's quite a bit of them. A ton of these guys with the one stud, and maybe you don't have all these pieces. Some of these will go on interior work, some of them will go on exterior. Most of these dark bluish gray pieces are going to go on interior, and then the other ones that are light bluish gray are actually going to go on the exterior. You'll notice I do have like some of this red light and this black stuff. Those are kind of random, I know, but I just kind of like the way it looks on the interior. You don't need those necessarily. Maybe those are easier pieces to get for you than, say, these guys, which are maybe more critical to making a nice, smoother look. But overall, this is all the pieces. There are a lot of sanded pieces, but yes, do remember that these are reversed, so they are not the same. You're going to need 5 of each, and then you just got your little hollow figure, which you'll see later. You don't need, but I just like. So now I am going to basically shove all this aside. Alright, so all my great sorting work did nothing, not a lot for me, but good thing. So all of that's going to go to the side, and let's start working on the light cruiser. Alright, so now we're going to get to the interior. So first thing to modify the interior is to remove these control panels and this 2x3. You're going to keep that, but you will want to take those apart. So those are you're going to want to use later. Just move those off to the side. Nothing too major there. Then you're just going to, and then this will make it a little finicky until you can actually get pieces in here, but this thing will kind of want to pop out and that'll want to come apart. But you're just going to move that over here, just like that. So that's all like that, and then there's nothing there, and then you're going to just pop apart this little thing and remove that, and the coffee cup popping off, just jump to the next step. You're going to take that out. Because why does he have a coffee cup when he could have a hollow projector? I mean, it just makes way more sense because this is like his table, right? So I'm going to put that there instead. So now let's get into the actual building part of this. So inside right here, you're going to want to take one of these pieces right here. So this piece right here, you're going to take that piece and you're going to just stick it right there, like so. Then you're going to take one of these guys, these little pieces, and put one there so it kind of comes out, and then one on the other side. So you kind of got this slanted out. You're covering up those red dots, yes, but it doesn't really matter too much. If you like that little extra detail, go ahead and add some to it, but it really, in my opinion, is not super necessary. Then next, you're just going to want to add another one of these just behind that, and put that in there, and then another one on the other side, like so. You're going to take your 1x6 dark gray piece, put that across there, just like that. Then you're going to take one of these, another one of these, and put a oneer. Now this piece is one of the pieces that I forgot to order. I have some in my collection. So this is just one that where you're actually going to need two of these. This is probably the only piece, hopefully. Or you're just going to stick it together like that and then put it in there. So you've got kind of this little area. And you're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Just taking your other oneer. And you don't necessarily need those, but just add some extra support. That's nice to have. Then you're going to take your 2x4, and that's just going to go right across down the middle there. And then you're going to take your two control panels that you removed earlier, and just place them right here and right here. So they go just inside. Just inside right here. So you have these two control panels up here, which just seems much more fitting. You're going to take each of these, one of them, you're going to add this guy to right there. And then your two other pieces, your red dot and your black piece, right here, start together. And you just stick that on like that. That one can go on this side. The other one you could add something else to, but I just left blank and put that on the other side. So that's how that one works. And then after that, you're going to take one of these, this kind, or the other kind, doesn't really matter, but you have to have it on this side, and you're just going to stay right there. So it's one away, and it's kind of lining up with this line right here, that line of pieces, and then it's one away from this side. So you've got that. On top of that, you're going to add this piece, and just stick that there. And then you're going to take your 2x3, a 1x2 flat piece, stick that on top, and a 2x2 flat piece, and just put that right in there. Maybe a little tough should just fit right in there, but it should go in. I'm having a little troubles with that. All right. Here, I'm just gonna pop this guy out. So it's gonna look like that in the end. And then you're just gonna wanna put that one right back in where it was. Just like that. So that's one side. Just like that. And then on the other side, you're gonna do the exact same thing. So put these two pieces together. Add your 2x3. Add your 1x2 and your 2x3. It's just the opposite, and you want to make sure that's the opposite one because it will not. It's annoying, but it will not work otherwise. For whatever reason, fitting this in is kind of a pain. It also might be partly because these are just really unstable. Now that piece is unstable a little bit, those two, but overall those stay up like they should. Next we're just gonna add these two are gonna stack them on top of each other, and you're just gonna stick them right here. Line that up. Another one on the other side, like that. On those, you do want to add your control panels. These guys, just like so. It doesn't really matter the order. Same thing on the other side. And then you're gonna want one of these, which will just go on the other side right there. That just kind of blends in. The rest. And then on this side, you're just going to take one of these flat 1x2s and put that on right there. Now you may like that look better, and you can do that on both sides. So then you're gonna take again 2 more of these pieces, and you're just gonna stick them right back here. Again, you're lining it up with this, like kind of like it just kind of keeps going. You've got like a slanted area. You're just gonna take one of these 1x2s, stick it in the back. A 3x3, stick that right next to that, right there. And then you're going to want to take one of your dark gray sixers, thin flat sixers, put that across the back. It's pretty sturdy, even though it's not supported on one. And this entire kind of thing, another 2x2, and then this 1x2 flat piece. That all tiles the entire area off, and that looks way better. It is there is this little gap there that I'm not exactly sure how to fix that. I mean, you could add some pieces there, but the way the angled pieces mess with it, just kind of messes it up. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take 2 more winders, which again, I did not put in the order. I'm going to just add those right there. And then again, then I'm going to take 2 more pieces that weren't in the order, these guys, and put that one on that side. And then do the same exact thing on the other side, just to cover that up a little bit. But it doesn't look super good. So you can do that. That's one option for getting rid of that little gap. You can do other things that may work better, but that's the way I've kind of fixed that. So that's all there. It's kind of tiled off. The guy could stand here. That looks good. Then you're going to take another one of your sixers and do the exact same thing on the other side. So this with this. This goes right on top of these 3x3s were taken from where it originally connected here. I forgot to tell you that earlier. That's where they were from. And you're just basically recreating what you just did on the other side. So all of that just fits in there. It's got a nice clean look. You've got your nice dark gray. walls and everything. It looks really nice. I'm not sure. Oh, my hologram just kind of fell out the back, so I'm just gonna pull that out and put that one right back on. Now you've got that, and you may be wondering, well, this doesn't look super good. Well, that's what I'm gonna fix next. So you're just gonna take 4 light gray thin sixers. Right here, and you're just gonna put 2 on either side, looking just like that, and just like that. Yeah, so this is a little loose without this like extra part, so it kind of wants to tilt, so you just want to hold it up when you do this, because these guys will pop out. And then just to start securing that together, we're going to just get into it a little. So adding these guys really helps right in there. Oh no, sorry, this one, yes. That one goes there. Then you're going to take your 1x2 and just put it right next to that. Again on the other side. That all just gets tiled off. Then 2 more 1x2s go right here. And so like just like that. So that's a nice tile off. Now there's some things right here. Here we're actually going to use these 2x2s just to cover up some more of that space, just to make it look much nicer. Some more of those 2x2s. And then more 1x2 flat pieces, just like that. So that all gets in there. There are some gaps, but in the end it'll look fine. Then you're going to take these 2 curved oneers. You could use regular oneers, but I kind of like the way this looks. And again, they were out of stock of the regular oneers in light gray, so I wasn't able to do that. Then you're just going to take 3 1x2 flat pieces. One is going to be light gray. The light gray one's going to go closest. Another dark gray and a dark gray right here. A 6er and then a dark gray 2er. So these 2 pieces are the last 2 pieces, and they're going to go right here and right here. And that pretty much finishes it up for this interior. You can add these guys back in. One thing about them is I like to put them in the corners here, and they just do kind of blend in with this, which is kind of weird in a way. You could move them in a little, just to make it look more like they're crates if you wanted, but then they're right up against this. So I don't know or maybe you move them in a little, I don't know. But I think it just looks a lot better overall, and you've just got a much nicer, cleaner look. It does take up more space. It's hard to fit guys in, but anyways, you couldn't really fit guys along the edges anyways, because this kind of came down too far. So that's the entire interior for you. So let's get on to the exterior. So I have removed the cannons. They are not changed at all. I just removed them so that we can get to work on this exterior. Now, there's way too many studs, not too many flat pieces. Let's get into it. So first, let's just pop this side off, just like so. And what you're going to start with is you're going to pull off this light gray piece and put 3 of these on that. Just like so, right? Alright, so once you've got that done, I'm going to add a flat 8er across the top right there. Then I'm going to take one of these slanted pieces and just stick a 1er right on the bottom there. Actually, yes, so you actually want to take 2 1ers, sorry. Another 1er there, and then you're going to put the second 1er right here. Right there. And that you're just going to stick right on. Yes, maybe it comes up a little more, but it looks nice. It just gives it a clean look. and finish. So after you've got that done, let's get into the next part. So you are going to want to take a lot of these and just start at the very back and work your way all the way along the edge. So I'm going to do that on both sides. So you've got them all the way along. Yes, maybe they don't exactly hook up, but they do on one end, and in the end, it'll look fine. So you don't need to replace those pieces underneath at all. So you're going to take this all the way down until you're one away. So like that. Until you're one away, just like that right there. And then you're going to be able to add your 8er and then your 3er. Just like that. So once you've got that done, we're going to need to get into the next part, which is not going to be changed. So this part right here is not going to be changed at all. You're going to just add a 2er and then right here, and then a flat 2er right there, just like that. You're going to take a regular thin 6er and stick it along here, like so. This is just kind of adding to texture. So you still got some studs in there, but not a lot, like, because before you just had too many. Another flat 6er right there. Then right here, you're going to add one of these guys and just put it in right there like that. Add a 6er along there. And then add a flat 4 right there. So you've just kind of got this thing that flows back and then flows forward again. And to finish that off, we're going to add a regular thin 4 and just put that right there. And that just kind of raises it up. Makes it look nicer, in my opinion. And then on the very back, we're going to add a flat 4. One of the flat pieces that like turns a corner, kind of. And then another flat 4. Like so. So that just kind of goes right around the cannon. Just adds a little more like depth, I feel like. Which is nice. And it's just had some nice tiling. So once you've got that, I'm not going to attach this yet because there's some things we want to do to this. So I'm going to do this part. I'll show you how to do that, and then we'll go through a time lapse of just doing this other side. So, because it's exactly the same as this side, just the opposite. So let's first get into this. You're going to want to add 2 1ers. Like 2 like cheese slopes, 1er cheese slope. Those are gonna go down there, and then 2 6ers down the side, down the middle. So what that's gonna add is just some nice. What this is gonna add is this is gonna allow these guys to lock in. So then on either side, you're gonna take a bunch more of these guys, and you're gonna take them down either side, like so. Oh no, not on either side except for that very front piece. Because that is where you're actually going to put even more of these turning pieces that turn the corner. Those are going to go there. And these are going to go here. Now, at that point, if you line it up, you see that there is a little gap there. But that'll get filled in by this. So that's fine. So those are not super well supported, but it works. So all of these are going to go down like so. So you're going to have in total 5 rows of them, just of 2 on either row. And then you're going to be able to add, except for the back. Okay. The only spot that's going to be different is going to be the back row. So that's going to be used by one of these, and one another one of those sloping pieces. Let me find the piece right here. All right, so if you look at that, line it up, you'll notice that that side doesn't need, that's at that point, you don't need to have anything. So we're actually gonna support this with two circle oneers, like that and like that. Those are just gonna go right here, and that's gonna blend right in nicely. So once you got that, you're gonna take four of these flat 3ers and just stick them down the middle. Now this adds some just a really nice kind of center thing. And then lastly, on the very back, you're gonna take 2 of your flat 6ers and put them all the way down the back. So you're still gonna get some studs up here, but not much. And then just to add a little more texture to that studded part, let's just raise that up with one of those. So that's about it for this front portion of this. I'll get into a time lapse of us doing the other side, and then if there's anything I needed to change about the other side, I'll tell you about that in the next part of this video. Let me just check that this goes together, because sometimes it won't. It appears to be too low, which is weird. I'm wondering. Yes, so this is the one other problem. So I realized that these are actually going to go on top of one of these 6ers. So that's just going to go on either side. So that's the only other difference. And that goes down here. And you're just going to want to add a thin oneer to both sides. I'm pretty sure. So that's just going to go like that. It does flush this out, and it gives it with this nice level. So that's nice, and then it will fit in. All right, here we go. So that's just about how you do that. And again, this thing won't flop around so much unless you break it out of its socket. Sometimes it's nice to just pop these up. If you're going to put it in, just pop them up. Put the thing in, clip it in, get it all in there, and then just put them right back down, and they'll go right on top of it, just like so. And that just adds a little more texture, and it also helps with this not flopping around, and it doesn't pop off as easily, which is nice. You may find that it will still pop off because this thing can catch, and that's true, but in general, it just gives it a much nicer look, and it actually kind of fills in a gap that's helped here, but not really done anywhere else. All right, so let's get into that time lapse of the other side. Or another one of these flat 4s. I'm not really sure how it ended up that I messed this up, but I did realize I did order the pieces. I do have some pieces in my collection that will, I think, allow me to fix this. So what I'm just gonna do is I'm just gonna make it symmetrical. I'm gonna take one of these. It'll add some more studs to it, but I kind of like the look. It's just one of these that has 2 studs. I'm going to do that on both sides just to make it symmetrical. Because I like it that way. I don't love it being kind of off. And then after I do that, so now that we've got that, I'm just going to reattach this guy on. If I can get him to go in. Like so. So now that we've got the interior and then this front part of it, just with some extra tiling, I'm not going to add anything to this very front part. It's pretty nice already. But let's get into this part right here. On either side, you've got this little thing right here, which it just doesn't look super good. I don't love that there's like these little dots. I don't like these things are there. It's kind of just doesn't have a great look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some pieces to right there and then right on top. So first of all, you've got these on top. I did show in my order that I did have more of these, but I think, going to use those later on. So these guys on the bottom, you're going to want to take and just put them right there. And then put on the bottom, you're going to take these. You really don't see that much, but you're just going to take a 1 by 1 cheese slope. And then this guy, we've been using a lot of those. And that guy's just going to go right underneath, right there. And then that piece can go right there. So then on the other side, should do the same thing. Now you don't have to necessarily do this, because what I'm going to use those pieces on is on the roof of this top part that I'm going to fix up. And if you think that's fine the way it is, then you can leave that and just go with the ones that I put in my order if you have extra ones of those. Or if you even have more of those, you can just add them in. But I don't have much of those. And trying to work with the way I put, with the pieces I have, I'm just going to put those in there. Then just to kind of like give it some more depth and tile that off, I'm just going to add one of those and a grate, a 2x2. And that just gives it a nice look, in my opinion, on both sides. And maybe you don't like that, and maybe the actual thing has that kind of thing, but I just like the look of that better with the grates. So I'm going to add that. So that's about that for that middle section. We'll do this back section in a second. But first, let's just work on this cockpit up here. So this entire thing, and I know I'm using a different piece because I thought I would switch it around originally, but then this didn't work out. So there is actually a dark gray piece that's more like this piece on the side here that just has 2 studs on the top. But no matter what, you're just going to remove it. So all of that's going to come off. And instead of this, I'm actually going to be able to keep using that. That thing is not going to stay. So what you're going to do, this part down here that I'm about to do is going to have to do with this little gap there that I don't like. And you're just going to pop out this 1x8 and just take that off completely. So then you just want to take these off, and you're going to take, now these are the pieces, one of these. That's going to fix the gap because it just overhangs. It's at the same depth. I'm not going to do it on the bottom because you never look at the bottom very much. So you're just going to do the same thing on the other side. Now you may realize, oh, well, I just shortened it. So you can't use that 1x8. Well, you're right. So you're just going to add this 1x6, and that should do the trick. Then you're just going to add that guy back on. Add this one right there. One of these on either side. Then you're going to take the other 2 that you have and put it on top here like that. So it's going to be 1 above, 1 right there. Just like that. So it's kind of sloping up. Then you're going to take that flat piece and put it on top there. Now the last thing is that you're going to put a 4 over that. Just right there like this. Just to kind of give that and cover up that dark gray, which I don't love there. And then, again, just to give it a nice look, right up here, and just to kind of tile it off a little bit, you are going to take 2 of these. So now the problem is I did not put enough in my order. So you're going to need to get another one from your collection. So let me do that quickly. Alright, so I have now got that piece and added it there. So now let's move on to the back. We're going to add a 1x2 thin piece right here. Do that on both sides. Right there. Add a dark gray. 2 dark gray 1ers on both sides. like that and like that. Then take both your pieces that kind of curve down. Now you're actually not gonna hook those on yet. You're just gonna do this next part right here. So put those two pieces on either side, circle pieces on that. Then on one, down here, you're gonna put a oneer, and then you're gonna put a twoer next to that right there, just like so, and place that guy right on top. So now you can stick that one right on top of there. Take a 1x3 flat piece, put that right there, and then you're going to take a grate, which I did not include in the order, but I have got one in my collection. I'm just going to put that one there. You could maybe put another twoer or whatever. And then you're going to notice there's a little gap there. And all you're going to want to do with that is take one of your thin twoers and place it underneath. And that gets rid of the gap pretty good. Not great, but good enough. And then the last thing you're going to do on this side is add one of these here. And then add your threer on the flat threer on the other side. You're going to do that on both sides. So, and then lastly, you're just going to want to add one of these right here, just to kind of make it curve back a little. And you can add more pieces there if that's what you want to do. I'm just going to do everything that I just did on this side. You can add more pieces if that's what you want to do to it, but just to kind of tile that back piece off. But it's not necessary. And then you're just going to add these guys right here, same kind of thing. Just putting it all together. And so then you're gonna get that guy again, will go in there. But first let me just add this guy right there. This guy with the twoer will go right in there. This guy will cover that up. This guy will go right there. And then you have that all nicely tiled off. I'm not sure if there's anything else. There isn't, so that's about it for this entire modification. As you can see, really no technical stuff, just a lot of making adjustments, just tiling everything up, making everything look a lot more clean. So nothing that just kind of messes with things, so that's good. So that's not really the goal of this, but just to be able to, and then you can put your cannons back on too, at whatever point you want, just to be able to make it look a little nicer, get that nice fresh tiled look. And so that's about it for today's video. So if you liked it, subscribe, like the video, and we'll see you next time on WHM Brick Bros. Thanks for watching.